And we're rolling.
We're rolling.
Episode 2 of Hard to Be Humble. Let's go, baby. It's time.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
What am I good at? Repeating whatever Steve says.
I'm
like your little echo. You're like, let's go. I'm like, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, solid.
Hard.
We're sitting here with our 2 cups of tea. My little tea tag says, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Yours doesn't say anything. We're drinking different teas, but you can make something up.
Mine says, steep 4 minutes. What does steep mean?
You leave the bag in there for 4 minutes, but I would just leave it in the whole time. Yeah.
Tea time.
Tea time. It's time for tea.
Don't do that. Just kidding. I just turned from
Okay.
podcast to ASMR.
So we had so many questions in our last I'm restarting. Okay. So we had too many questions to fit into our last podcast episode, so here we are doing a part 2. Thank you again, everybody who did submit questions, and thank you, everybody. I need a blanket, too. I'm gonna get a blanket.
I feel much cozier with a blanket. You should definitely get a blanket.
I'm getting a blanket.
I feel cozied up. Cozy. Want to get cozy at the Cozy Cone? Not cozy with me in your own cone.
I don't want plaid on plaid.
Name that movie.
I'm gonna guess it's from
Cars.
Cars, yeah. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, that's a cute color.
That's a cute color. Gotta do it for the aesthetics.
Do it for the gram.
Do it for the gram. Bitches love the gram. Okay, so
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Let's go ahead and get right on into the questions. Thank you, everybody, for being here. The first question that I have, The first question that I have. How do you get a guy to ask you out because you want them to make the first move, but they don't get it, and you don't want to be embarrassed to ask them out, and they say no? First of all, I think we need to get rid of the stigma where men always have to make the first move and men just always have to initiate conversation. I understand that there is also, for me, there's a part of me that kind of likes that. I kind of want the guy to make the first move. I kind of want them to initiate everything. But there is so much power in making the first move. I actually saw this question at the beginning of the day today, and it pushed me to send a message to some guy on Instagram that I thought was cute, and I did it, and guess what? He responded. He didn't leave me empty-handed. It was good. It was successful. I've had other success stories before where I've asked a guy for their number or, you know, put myself out there, and I guess it really is easier said than done, but I think that we can't expect men to know everything. As much as we want them to know everything, we have to just trust.
They just don't.
They don't.
They seriously, you
They
have to
never
straight
will.
up spell it out for men sometimes.
You do.
And even then, sometimes you have to spell it out and then show them.
Yeah,
Because they
yeah.
just-
You need to hit all 5 senses, spell it out so they hear it, then let them see it, and then repeat it so that they really get it, and then say it again, but really, really slowly, and yeah.
That's kind of how you have to talk to me sometimes.
So I understand. I don't know if that's even really good advice at all, but I think you really shouldn't be afraid to just actually put yourself out there and make the first move. And girl, if you need help, you can message me. I'll help you figure out exactly what it is that you want to say to this person. And so what if you get rejected? That means you're just one step closer to finding the one,
Yes.
right? And I was actually just talking with our little sister Callie about this the other day because there was a really cute guy in Target and I wanted to ask for his number, but I didn't end up asking for his number because I got scared. And we were talking about how I don't have any regrets in my life as far as things that I have done, but I do have a lot of regrets in my life for things I have not done or did not do. I regret not putting myself out there more. I regret not being crazy. I regret not being more extra or more outspoken or standing up more for myself. So I think at the end of the day, you're really going to regret not taking that chance more than you will regret taking that chance. So that's my advice for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think that things have changed too much in dating in the
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, I haven't even touched mine because it looks too hot.
Yeah.
I think it's just so different than it used to be. I think it used to be that men always put in the effort and asked the girl on a date and, you know, took them out to a nice dinner. I don't think that that's the standard now, and I think that it's so easy to communicate now that it can go both ways. You know, it's so easy to shoot a text that boys are like, if it's that easy, or a phone call, whatever, you know, that you can, girls can shoot their shot now too.
Yeah, how do you know that he's not nervous because he thinks that you're going to shoot him down, you know?
Yeah,
it really
and
does
they
go both
are,
ways.
and they are. I mean, men are scared of rejection, and that's probably why he hasn't said anything, but I think that it's like...
We experienced some technical difficulties, but technical difficulties, but we are back now. So yeah, to finish off that question, I say just shoot your shot, and really if you are having issues figuring out what it is to say, reach out to me, reach out to Cheyenne, you can reach out to both of us, and we would love to help you. I think we're pretty good with that kind of stuff.
It is. I mean, I'm married, so it works on someone.
Amen. I love it. I love the confidence.
Just kidding.
Okay, next question.
Okay, next question. What are your top 3 bucket list to-dos before turning 30?
Okay, I would like to travel to Europe, get married, and do some sort of ocean cleanup with cleaning up trash. Those are probably my top 3.
I haven't really thought about this too much. I have like an overall bucket list, but I never gave it like a deadline of a number. So like things I want to accomplish before I'm 30. I think I would definitely like to have 1 kid before I'm 30. At least 1. If that's possible. I don't know. Wait, let me think about this for a second.
That is so much time to accomplish so many things.
That's 8 years for me.
Just spit out anything that you've been dreaming of doing.
Pretty much living the dream.
Hopefully get your hopefully get your braces off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe get a new car. Yeah. Do you want to live in a different house by then, or the same house? Okay, there you go.
All of the above.
Okay.
No, I think that's not a bucket list thing.
Yeah, it is. Any goals? Say it with your chest.
I didn't even have time to think about this one. You know, I think I would really like to go skydiving.
Oh yeah, recommend.
I think you've got to do that before you're 30.
I recommend. A fun experience.
Yeah, hopefully have a kid before I'm 30. Yeah, maybe a new car would be nice.
Okay, cool. All right, okay, so the next question is tips for dealing with toxic family members. Ooh. So I think most importantly, you have to learn how to be secure in yourself and put up boundaries when people, and not be afraid to let people know when they have overstepped them. You are more than capable of having boundaries and setting boundaries for yourself, and knowing that just because they are your family doesn't mean that you have to put up with their crap, doesn't mean that you have to put up with their disrespect or them just not treating you the way that you would like to be treated. I think that finding security in myself and setting boundaries was actually able to help a lot of my relationships with some family members that I had, where our relationships were a little bit toxic. And just knowing who I am, just not allowing other people to affect me that much, I think is most important.
I think that a lot of times people will excuse behaviors of people because they're family too. And you let people treat you a certain way because they're family, you know, and that's not always the right answer to me. I think that you can, like you said, set boundaries, but also let them know that just because you're my family doesn't mean you can treat me like that. Or, you know, so in those situations I think it's okay to take time and space away from people, and just because they're family doesn't mean that you owe them anything. And if they can't respect your boundaries and your things that, you know, whatever you asked for them, then they don't deserve to be a part of your life. And that's kind of a decision that you probably have to put more in their hands too, is be like, I'm, you know.
Yeah, but really making sure you're expressing yourself. How is this person supposed to know that they are overstepping your boundaries and disrespecting you and making you feel a certain way if you don't tell them, hey, I don't like this. I don't like the way that you're treating me. And doing it in a confident adult way. I used to get in fights with my dad pretty much every single time we would have a family dinner. We just butt heads. We're really similar. And it's not that they were major fights. We just argue because we just have very similar views, but neither of us were patient enough or mature enough to really just take the time to actually express to each other how it was that we were feeling. And over the last couple of years, we've really done some self-growth and just learned that it was more important for us to have a relationship than to not have one, than to, than to get our point proven and prove to the other person that we are right. I think really just like expressing and staying firm in my ground, and this is how I am, and I love you, but I'm not going to tolerate this type of behavior anymore. So,
and I also think that family is so important that I think, at the end of the day, your family is what's going to be there at the end of the day. And so it's important to also try and build those relationships the best that you can and try and work on those things instead of just, excusing them or letting them.
I do also understand that it is not the case scenario for everybody that your family will always be there for you. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to find family outside of your family, and I am so sorry to any of those people that do struggle with family members that just don't honestly deserve to be in your life. And I think at that point it is better to maybe just remove yourself from the situation. Your peace of mind is more important than trying to mend a relationship that may not ever get anywhere. And I also do think sometimes the best way to teach somebody that their disrespect won't be tolerated is by cutting them off. So if that is the case scenario, then kudos to you, and hope you're able to get through that.
Yeah. Families are hard, and that can be a lot.
We said we wanted to be funny, and we're like dead.
I know. I don't have like a lot to say. We need to change it up.
Lighten it up in this bitch.
Marriage/relationship advice.
I think this one is all you, baby. This one is all you. Sage can't keep a man to save her freaking life. Just kidding. I don't want one, so.
You do.
I want a healthy, secure, 6 foot tall, handsome, dark man.
Yeah. A marriage and relationship advice, but I do think this is something we can both touch base on because we've both been in relationships. I mean, marriage advice is, I don't know, I remember being so scared to get married because everyone was like, the first year of marriage is the hardest and blah blah blah, it's so hard the first couple of years, and I just don't feel that way. I think that marriage has been so much fun, and like I have zero regrets, and I don't think there's really any negative things I could ever say about being married. And I think that stigma behind marriage and people saying like, and it is hard. Relationships are hard. Like, I'm not saying it's like the easiest, like there should be work and there should be hard. But I think a lot of people put this like worldly outlook on things of like, oh, you have to be annoyed with your husband all the time and you have to be, but like truthfully, like I don't feel that way. And why are you crying?
I don't know. I was waiting until you were done talking to tell you that hearing about this just makes me so happy to know that you've been able to find a relationship that helps you grow as a person and that you are in a good relationship, because not everybody is that. I didn't mean to get so emotional. I just am happy that you're being loved properly and that you also do have someone that you're able to give your love to.
Yeah, and I think one thing I've always told everyone, and especially Sage, is that like your standards are never too high. I think a lot of times people settle, and that's where things can, I think sometimes there can be issues and things like that. And I don't know, I just think from a young age, I always knew what I wanted in a man, and I was lucky enough to be able to find that in someone. And I think that there are more men out there, and I think there are people out there that will meet every standard that you have. And I think if you and obviously you need to put in the effort. And I don't know, me and my husband have a lot of respect for each other, and I think that's a really big thing to have, is that we both listen to each other, and when someone has something to say or when someone doesn't agree with something that the other person is doing, I feel like we both are very respectful of each other's feelings. And it was funny that my husband actually came home from work the other day and told me that his coworkers he had overheard some guys talking about how their wife was going to be gone for their weekend, and they were excited to go to the bar and drink with their friends, and their wife had been bothering them and she was being too much and this and that. And Christian came home and he said, it was so dumb that they were talking about their wives like that. I would never think that. And like it was just so funny to me that
No, I think it's really cool that you and Christian have a friendship inside of your marriage. You're not just husband and wife, you're also best friends. You guys have a really healthy way of communicating with one another, and I think that's really cool. I also think that a lot of people talk negatively on getting married young, but you and Christian have been able to make it work in the way that you guys are learning together and growing together. Your 20s are a very vital part of your growth and just who you end up being as a person, and you guys have really used that to benefit yourselves rather than it holding you back from achieving the things that you want to achieve in life. It's actually pushing you to grow, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and we are best friends, and I think that's so important, is having a friendship within that relationship and being silly and being fun. I mean, we do everything together, and I think it's so much fun, even you know, down to grocery shopping and things like that, and just enjoying
building Lego sets.
We like to build Lego sets together for free in our free time. We literally just like to do everything together, and I don't know, I think that, there's a stigma behind it, and there's like this, and behind relationships in general, you know, I think you should talk positively about your partner and vice versa, and don't think I would ever question. Christian would never say anything bad about me behind my back, and I would never say anything bad about him, and I think that just shows, you know, when people are like, I remember people would tell me, like, I remember when I first got married, and blah, 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 and now it's not fun anymore, this and that, and it's like, why would you even say those words out loud? Why would you even speak that into the universe about your relationship when, like, I don't feel that way. I've been married for almost 2 years, and I have 0 complaints, and I would never be like, the first years of marriage are the hardest. Like, what is hard about being married? You literally just get to, like, hang out every day. Like, if it's hard to be married, you probably don't like each other.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's not always the case. People go through hardships and things like that, and we're lucky enough to have a pretty easy couple of years of marriage, but I also think that it's important to pick a partner that you can go through life with.
Be picky about who it is that you choose. I think one thing that is really important to me in a relationship is keeping your individuality. In my past relationships, I have found myself kind of giving my all to that person and thinking that it was romantic to fully invest myself into their hobbies and their interests and their friend groups, and I actually ended up losing myself in the process. So I think going forward, I've really made it a priority to have things that I do for myself and have time that I get to just do my own thing and be my own person and have my own life outside of theirs. Because I think the beautiful part of marriage is that it's 2 lives that get to come together. It's not, it's not just fully succumbing into their life and doing everything that they like to do. So I think that was one important part for me. I also want to just touch back on communication. Communication is key, and everybody does say that. But I see a lot of resentment build in relationships over things that were never even discussed. How does your partner know that you feel that way if you've never actually expressed to them that's how you feel? Or how is your partner supposed to know that those things are what you want when you've never expressed to them that those are the things you want? You can't expect that person to know exactly what it is that you're thinking, exactly what it is that you want, exactly what it is that you're trying to do in your life, and just keeping open communication, and also just taking the time to figure out exactly what it is that you do want. And then once you speak it into words, I feel like it helps you decide what the goal actually is that you're trying to accomplish, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I also think knowing your worth is really important in any relationship, and knowing what you deserve, like, well, Christian will open my door and get me flowers, and it's like, that's so nice, but like, that's what I wanted, and it's like, that's asking the bare minimum sometimes for guys. And I think not expecting, because not all guys will do those kind of things, but knowing that you do deserve that kind of love, and that's not asking a lot from your partner to show you those kind of things. And especially as a woman, I think sometimes we excuse
poor behavior,
and not all women like flowers, and not all women like gifts and stuff. But if that is something you like, and your partner can't give that to you, then there's something wrong. Because I think that if you, like you said, communicating the things that you like. Hey, I really like flowers. It's like, I can't do that for you, sorry, I never get flowers. It's like, okay,
Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
If you're like, hey, I don't really want you to get me flowers, but it would be really nice if you took the trash out once a week or something, you know? Just knowing that you do deserve to be loved that way, and it is possible for someone to love you that way, in any way that you want. And
yeah, exactly.
you said communication was key, but I also think that understanding each other is super important, because you can communicate to someone how you want to be treated, and if they don't understand that, then they won't ever change the way that they are, you know. And so I don't know, I like to say that understanding is key too, because
cool, I like that. That's good. Just quickly before we move on to the next question, I do want to say, if there is anybody out there that has currently found themselves in a relationship that really is just not bringing them fulfillment or happiness, and is feeling like a toxic, endless cycle or pattern that's just never ending and never going to change, I just hope that you find the courage and the self-love to leave, coming from somebody who experienced something like that herself. My life has become immensely better since finally putting myself in, realizing that I did in fact deserve true, real, genuine love, to be with somebody who respected me, who cared about my opinions, who appreciated who I am as an individual, who wants to grow with me and progress with me. I just hope you guys know that you do deserve that, and that you do deserve a relationship that brings you happiness and joy. And
absolutely, and I think that that's cool that you've learned that you did have to learn things the hard way, but I always do.
I always do.
But
yeah. Okay. So the next question is favorite makeup or beauty products, which I'm not a huge makeup guru. I have my pretty standard routine that I follow, and a few things I cannot live without are an eyebrow pencil, mascara, and probably bronzer. I really love the Hoola Benefit bronzer. That one's amazing.
That's been your go-to for a minute.
For a long time. I love that one. You can find cheap eyebrow gels from e.l.f. or Maybelline or L'Oreal. You don't have to go out and buy anything expensive, but I know I can even rock a no makeup look. No mascara, no foundation, no bronzer, and as long as my eyebrows are done, I feel pretty secure in myself.
I do love a good eyebrow. I think eyebrows and eyelashes are big. I have lash extensions, so this is hard for me because I don't really do makeup. That's the point of having them, is that I don't have to. But I do love to have my eyebrows done, and I think that's important. A good eyebrow gel, a good eyebrow pencil, brow routine, make sure you're cleaned up.
Yeah, if you do want to spice it up and get into eyeshadow, there are things you can find on Pinterest or Google that will tell you the colors that complement your eye color. So greens do really well with golds and browns, and even some purplies or some greens. I typically do just stick with like the gold and the browns, and occasionally we'll do like a little smoky eye or something. But you can find out what it is exactly for your eye color that will work. Also, you know, you can whatever, never mind, that's it.
I wish I had more, I want to be more into makeup. Like, I probably should put a little more time and effort into it.
With practice, that is what
I love seeing a good slayed makeup. Like, when I see a girl with beautiful makeup, you're like, amazing artwork.
Well, we've got YouTube tutorials for that, TikToks for that, with practice, and just being confident enough to give it a try. Just have fun with it. It's okay. It's not that serious.
You do love your Fenty lip glosses too.
I do love my Fenty lip glosses. I'm obsessed. I have become a lip gloss girly over the last couple of months, especially with having braces. I feel like lip gloss just adds to the look a little bit. It makes me feel a little bit more put together. It makes me feel a little bit more feminine, and I just like a little good.
I would say I'm a lip gloss girly too. I don't really have. I just have lip oils and lip glosses, but I do feel like lip gloss is a good part of the routine.
Yeah. Should we go into the question about femininity with that one, as we're on the topic of makeup and just feeling feminine? We should just jump right into that. We did get asked tips on how to bring out your inner divine femininity. And one thing that I have recently started doing is dancing. I started taking some dance classes, but also before I found the confidence to publicly go to a class, I would just dance alone in my room in a mirror. And that sounds so silly, but it actually is so empowering. And I am a firm believer that movement is medicine. But just kind of learning how to shake your hips and loosen up. And letting go and having fun. I also love a good skirt. I love a good dress. That makes me feel like a powerful goddess when I have a sleigh outfit on that is incorporating. I don't know why I said slay. Why did I say slay? A sleigh outfit.
That was
I actually
good.
speak like that. It is good. Okay, a sleigh outfit. Yeah, with a skirt. Or music can be a good one. Listening to some empowering music. Ariana Grande's got some good songs.
Oh yeah,
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do love a rap music
People have
too.
different feminine energies as well, you know. You say yours is dancing, and I'm not much of a dancer, and I'm not much of a skirt wearer, but I do like to tap into my feminine energy in different ways, and I think that's personal to everybody too, and I love that you found that because you've always loved dancing. So I think that's so cute that you're doing it now, and I definitely need to tap into mine a little bit more, but I'm like, actually, you know, maybe I should wear a skirt every once in a while. It's like, oh, I'm least comfortable in a skirt. I don't know what I'm saying.
If you're least comfortable in a skirt, we should find you some better skirts. I've got some good Amazon links I could send you. We experienced some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. So the remainder of the podcast did not get recorded on the phone, but it is recorded on our actual podcast, which you can find on Spotify and on the Apple Podcast app. So that is where you can hear the rest of our conversations. We discuss a little bit more about tapping into your femininity, about our favorite sex positions, about a little bit of nothing.
And a whole lot of nothing. So check her out if you want to hear the rest of that. Other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you. We love you. And stay humble. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Bye.
That was hard.
That was hard.
That was really hard.